You're not able to be here, so you're stuck with me. Stacy, will you read the opening remarks, please?
Yes, the town of Minnedosa resides on Treaty 2 land. We acknowledge with gratitude that Minnedosa is on the ancestral lands of the Anishinaabe, Cree, Oji-Cree, Dakota, and Dene peoples and the Métis Nation.
Can I get a mover and a seconder for the adoption of the agenda? Councillor Marks, Councillor Landry,
Be it resolved that the September 23rd, 2025 agenda be hereby adopted.
all those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Can I get a mover and a seconder for the adoption of the minutes? Councillor Taylor, Councillor Marks,
Be it resolved that the minutes of the regular meeting of August 12th, 2025 be hereby adopted.
all those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Delegations. Welcome. We will start with the drama club and you can come forward and do your presentation, and then once you're done, there could be some questions from the counselors or we'll go from there.
Stand up.
That's totally up to you.
We debated who's gonna be the speaker and I think I lost. Basically, we're here to get a reduction in the price of the rental for the community hall. We've given you a budget. I don't know if you've had a chance to see it. Our whole program is on there. And we budgeted for $400 a night for 3 nights. Plus there's a 4th night there too, that we.
4 nights.
4 nights, okay. So that's what we're prepared to pay, because it works with our budget, and of course, everything is. Depend on whether it's a good night and whether or not the audience shows up. But we're concerned that it's $650 a night that it won't fly. That's what we're concerned about. So prepared to answer questions on the preamble that we sent to you.
Anybody have any questions? While they're looking for the questions, just that I met with all 3 of our delegation upstairs one night to answer some questions about the drama club. And if I'm correct me wrong, you are also going to be fixing a light in the hall, transformer.
The dimmer switch has been paid for by Danielle and it's been installed.
Okay, all right.
And in addition to that, we found out that there was nothing much wrong with it. It had been unplugged from the socket.
That's even better, yeah.
And there was glitches with it, so I took it to Ben Marks where they build them. He's checked it over and I'm gonna pick it up. We will now have a spare.
And in our discussions, you also indicated that there would be requirement of limited, if any, staff during the nights of the rehearsals and the evenings, because no alcohol is being served, and so that doesn't cut into our costs for us to manage. Is that correct?
I can't think of anything that we need as long as everything works, the toilets flush and the sinks go, and the issue with the thermostat is sometimes a problem, but that shouldn't take long. I mean, sometimes it's too hot and there's too cold. That's the only time I think we might need because Darren Oakley knows that building inside out. If there's electrical things that need to be done or hooked up or unhooked, he knows that building inside out.
Just wondering if the drama club is aware of the grants to organization process that we do every year.
Grant, like town grants, you mean?
Yes,
Yes, I think we had one when we first started up. But now let's get started.
so I just know going forward, that would be something I could recommend to you guys to have a look at. We normally do the intake
No.
in November for the following calendar year. So I highly recommend that drama club as an organization look at that process and file for a grant under the grants to
Yeah.
organization.
The problem with that is that we don't wanna have to do that every year. we'd have to do, we would have to do that every year.
Correct.
We want, yes,
Yes, correct.
yeah. Minidos Foundation, you know, that's something, but. Really like our place to be run, you know, be able to run like we have at the $400 is the last, what we've done the last several years, I think. And really make a little profit on that. For this time we could probably break even, depending on our audience, of course, but. But we could do that.
I can elaborate a bit on that in our discussions, rather than the drama club putting grants into organizations. In my opinion, this is not a losing proposition for the town. This is a money, still making money for the hall. And it is something that the hall was originally designed for and built for this type of event. And then I think that in our discussion going forward is that it would be nice for the drama club to have a home. I believe you're gonna do one in the fall at the hall and one in the spring at the Ukrainian hall.
Right. Because what the having to apply for grants and whatnot, it doesn't offer that consistency and security. So we have shown that we can operate and be successful at renewing. What the process, when you have to apply every year, then it's just an arduous task, whereas we are local. We confirm that we do this every year. The hall is different than, say, the Ukrainian hall. It allows us to do a different kind of play. So we really want that and need that and feel that it's a contribution to the community. And having that consistency, first of all, it allows also other organizations or other people to apply when they are not an annual thing for a grant to put something on. So that grant system is very valuable to have in our community. But if we can lower the price and make it so that we are assured that we know we can make it, we have an intense budget there, then we can be assured that we can carry it on the next year. And then also, as indicated here, we contribute, as you can see right away, 26 stuff. We live here. And so therefore, we make sure that that is a good place, the hall is kept up. And for other performances. And then our money goes towards that. So we are constantly contributing, and I think that was listed. And also, if we have extra, it's not as though we're a profit, we put it back into the community. So, and we've done that quite consistently. We're looking at another Communities of Bloom, say, this year possibly, but we don't know whether we'll have the money to do that. But that's why, as Peggy says, not filling out that grant form
Councilor
and
Mark.
applying it. And if we don't need the grant, when do you apply for that? Whereas if we can be assured that if we don't need the grant, do we apply for it afterwards? But
Councilor.
I perceive it's more, as far as the grant goes, it's more of a bookkeeping issue. Basically, this is what we rent the hall. It's fixed rate. When basically a grant is given, essentially we subsidize the cost or the difference. So in the case of you, would be paying for half of it. It would basically, we pay ourselves, if you want to look at it that way, but that ends up what happens. And it's not as though there aren't other organizations that are in the exact same position as you are. If I were to give an example, I would say that the Christmas dinner basically applies for a grant every year. And I would say it's basically guaranteed that it would be granted. And I would say that the same thing would be in your case. I don't know of any existing contracts where we actually have a hall accessible to any organization. But I would say that year in and year out, the same grants are asked for and the same grants are given.
If the money, if that grant money is available, then
So-
why would we not be able to pay the original price and not apply for, it? Then you have the money. And
Oh.
that's, so you keep that money available to give, so if you have, we don't need to ask that, we can run on our own. And so at a certain rate, but if you elevate that rate, cause what we were paying, I believe, was $400, then it was increased to $650. Plus the two, then we have an added, what's it called? Liability insurance thrown on top of that, so then you have over doubled the cost it takes for production, not just $200 is way more.
Can I ask you a question about the grant? So if we figured out our budget and stuff and we can't meet it with what we expect to have for audience, can we apply?
For those three. You're
We
asking,
have to do it before,
well,
that's
I don't, is there outstanding grant funds in for 2025?
No, we're over budget.
Or are you over budget?
That's monetary.
Oh, but the in lieu were okay?
And then Lou still puts us over, but
It's not.
actual money's given out, yes.
Yeah.
usually you have to apply for a grant before you spend the money, or, you know what I mean, like.
Yeah.
Yeah, to be-
Oh,
So to my recollection, the grant intake process happens about November approximately of every year. The grants are awarded early in the next, like the following year, I think it's February. So,
So we wouldn't know till February whether we got the grant for this year.
no, the
no,
intake,
that would be for 2020.
that would be for next year.
Oh, I see.
Have to fly in the spring to get one in the fall.
What I would say is you
So,
eligible for.
so then we cannot necessarily insure and go ahead, because the drama process, the process of putting a play on means you have to pick a play. You have to decide those things early, you have to make those decisions. So that whole process comes with the what ifs. So by having a secure venue that we know we can, that it just is a given. And by us having a set rate, and then even afterwards, giving back to the community in giving money to the community in ways that they would ask you for. Whereas we've been negated that. So, that was one of the reasons for, we can't go ahead with the process. Or we'll have to change the time of year that we have to do a play because we don't know whether we've got the grant money to do it. And it's that typical thing, and I know, it makes you shy away from using the venue, and personally, we started to do that. We said, we're not going to the hall. You can't, we don't know if we can get it, what if we don't make the money, and I said. This is our hall, this is Minnedosa, this is, we wanna use that, that's what it was built for, it's a stage, it's for dramas. So therefore, why are we looking at another venue? Well, because we don't know if we can afford that, what if we go in the hole, we can't. And then we apply for a grant, so if we have that assurance from our community that we can. Just pay what we were paying before, because it ends up being the same amount, we know we can deal with the 650 or whatever it is. So if we can have that. As our amount, so that's the rent plus, then we can be assured that we can go ahead annually with a club.
Any other questions?
They're somewhat apprehensive because we did go $1,200 in the hole one year. So it is possible to lose money at this, and it depends on the crowds.
Is there any other questions?
I don't have a question, but I would say it would be a given that you would be getting the grant. That would basically be in the amount that, I'm speaking for myself, but I think other counselors at this table would basically say the same thing.
Okay, so I don't quite understand when we would apply for this.
So for next year, for example, so for 2026, you would put in your application November, or December of 2025. So you would know almost 9 months ahead of
Right,
time.
but for now, we're too late for this year.
There is an option that we have that we would have to discuss.
Yeah.
So
That'd be.
creative accounting.
Which is,
It's on.
it's on the agenda.
Yeah.
Your proposal for this year, for 2025 is on the agenda.
We'd have to pick our play a year ahead of time, because we don't know the rights for the play, it's about $1,000 for the rights for the play. And that's part of our budget, and that varies like quite a bit.
Yeah.
Hundreds up into this one.
Yeah, yeah, it's all in US funds, as you can see on the budget there. Anyway,
Any other questions?
I would say the net result will be that you'll probably get what you're asking for, it's just the procedure for you will be different.
I was just gonna say, the overall picture here is that Ukrainian Hall is too small and you want us to,
for the fall play.
yeah, yeah. But the other aspect of this, how many people would come into Minnedosa that would stay for supper or go for supper?
Oh, yeah,
And
that big time.
Like,
Stay
yeah.
overnight, no.
not stay overnight, but just use the restaurants.
Possibly, yeah.
Use, maybe whatever they wanna do, wherever they wanna spend, they might need some gas to go up or is food that.
Many people come, they have said in the
That's-
past,
That's right,
for they come
That's
for
my-
dinner
Yeah.
and then they go to the play. It's
Yes.
an evening
that's right,
out.
yeah.
And
This was statistics, be aware that we have 23 rehearsals. Every rehearsal involves 460 kilometers of driving, there's coming from Shoal Lake, Brandon.
Yep.
And that's per
Yeah, I know.
rehearsal, this is an awful lot of time, money and effort goes into this thing.
That's
I
my
have
point,
no idea how many meals are
yes.
in the rehearsal, but every
Yeah.
yes,
5-6
And
times
pretty
a month.
blazers for us.
Yeah, it's not just a one
Or-
weekend.
and our cast comes from about 4 different communities at least.
That's all. I wanted.
Yeah.
That's important.
So if you have anything else you want to add? Again, I want to thank you for your presentation and your time for coming out and being that I was at the spring concert, it was very good and very well done. Of course, I've been to lots of dramas, but I certainly hope that we can continue to offer the dramas in Minnedosa, because I think they're a valuable part of that component. for
And
sure.
And another just quick comment was that their hall is exceptionally good. The town has built an exceptional hall. We don't want to lose that. It provides us an opportunity to put on something that is, if you've been in the Ukrainian hall, that is not a venue for a play. We are making do with that to stay in budget. But for the type of play and the type of crowd and to promote the arts and in our community, then the hall is the place, and it seems ironic that if it becomes a struggle to use the very venue it was built for, why is your drama club not? Why are you not in the hall? It's a stage and it's meant for drama productions. And we bring in those, well, we can't have a drama club here because we can't of that. So anyway, we appreciate the hall, it's a good venue.
Okay,
Thank you.
thank you again. We just have a resolution to pass for your presentation. Stacy.
No,
Oh, moving to seconder, wait, sorry. Counselor Marks, Counselor Landry,
That the presentation by Peggy Mully, Tony Mully, Marley Solsis, and Mary Dalton on behalf of the drama club be received.
and again, thank you. You're more than welcome to stay if you so wish for the rest of the council meeting. Right. Oh, all in favor.
He's a little rusted.
Yeah.
This is where we give out free concert ticket or?
He's the youngest,
Yeah.
Hey, thank you very much for your time.
Thank you.
We will let Daniel let you know tomorrow.
Okay, thank you very much.
We have our second delegation. Welcome.
Good evening.
So we'll just get started right into it and
So we're from Valley Lake Housing Group, Minnedosa Active Living Project. So basically here to give a bit of an update as to where we're at and what we're doing and talk a little bit about the land that you've set aside for us.
So we
just
you.
So currently, we've done a bit of fundraising and have commitments in about $600,000 set. So it's coming, it's been a bit of a slow go there. We didn't do a whole lot over the summer, everybody was pretty busy with other things going on, so we've reconvened. Had one meeting so far in the fall and had many discussions around where we're at and what we need to do to move forward. We have about 26 applications submitted for, so we need about 60 or 70 is where we would like to be before we go to any financial institution to talk about. What's that way?
Mortgage, we have mortgage and financing options.
Yeah. So at our recent meeting, we had many conversations about what may need to happen to move forward. So we kind of landed on kind of refocusing on our fundraising and kind of bringing it back to the local community. Derek's been focusing mostly on kind of the corporate and the bigger dollar opportunities. So looking at refocusing back to our community, our local business and getting us back out there so people know what we're doing, more or less. And also kind of doing a push on the application piece and getting people excited about it again, understanding what the application process is and that there's really no they're not out anything if they end up not going in there. I think maybe that's a bit of a misunderstanding out there right now and what's holding people back a little bit from putting in an application. All the monies are held in trust, so if it ends up that they don't go, then they get their money back, their deposit back. Kind of getting that message back out there, generating some more applications that way. Really nothing for that.
No, I don't think so. I think just further to that, some other considerations that we are looking at as to wanting to move this project forward in a more timely manner. We don't want it to lag behind 4 years. So some other considerations that we're looking at is scalability as to what we had envisioned it to be and to maybe potentially what the communities around it needs, but as Caitlin mentioned, our refocus first of all is on getting those commitments from local communities around us, and that doesn't mean just Minnedosa, but going into the other communities that are aligned with the RMs that are part of the group and working opportunities to get that 60 to 70 member commitment. Ultimately, at the end of the day, that's what what we need for financing is to be 20% over our capacity in order to solidify financing for the build of the project. So that's where we sit today, is coming to the next steps.
Yeah. So I guess one of the next steps is the property that you guys have graciously set aside for us. So that expires at the end of December of this year. So we are not in a position to be building on that property this year, unless some big donor comes in and gives us some money. So I guess we're looking at an opportunity either to kind of extend that hold on that property for another year, Or we understand that as it develops out there, you may get other offers on the property as well. Another thing we've considered is that if we could be considered to have the first right of refusal, if there is another opportunity come along that is looking at that same piece of property.
Anybody have any questions?
Are you happy with you wish there would be more people admitting to this, is that?
Yeah, initially, we kind of expected that to be a little bit more.
Or somewhere there?
Yeah, we thought we would have it filled by now, actually, is kind of what I thought anyways, that we would have the capacity to fill the building if it
Yeah.
were to be built today. And maybe we do, people just aren't putting in their applications ahead, so unless we kind of have that on paper to say, you know, this is what we have in commitments there, then it's kind of hard. I know I was just talking to someone the other day and they said, yeah, they're gonna put in their application, they just haven't done it yet. So how many more of those types of people are out there? That's where we need to kind of get back out and do a push on that and bring those people in and get them on paper and deposits. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Well, and I think that part of our messaging has to be the awareness of what it means, and what that. What their commitment means to our commitment to the build, because we can't have one without the other.
Yeah.
And that's ultimately where we sit today is we're committed to the build, but we need the resource commitment from them, that they're interested in and can make that deposit so that we can go ahead and that money. I guess that money is somewhat irrelevant, but we have to have something that holds that spot. So we determined that it's fairly standard in the industry to have that $1,000 commitment on a deposit, but what it means to us is to be able to have that commitment in order to go to the bank, and they can then commit to us that we can proceed with the project.
So asking for an extension on that property with a year, I think you're saying another year? How long?
Well, I guess it can't really predict
Yeah,
how long
that'd
it's
be-
going to
yeah.
take to have funds in place to go ahead. I would hope that
That would be
by
it.
next fall at the latest, we would be able to move forward.
Yeah.
Um,
We know that we have
But
the work to
there's-
do over the
yeah.
winter and in setting that pace so that we can have that commitment and be at the financial level by summer and be ready to build by fall, yeah. Our builder is prepared, and really is saving his time for us, so for when we can execute, but so if a year from now, when we're in the same boat, then we'll probably have to have some of those conversations with him. Our goal is to be as fast as we can be in the new year to gain those commitments.
Any other questions? And just as a sidebar, I think that majority of the people are waiting to see a shovel in the ground to a certain degree, but it's kind of catch-22.
You have to have-
We can't put a
It's the cart before the
shovel in the ground until we have the applications, and fundraising will come in after, which is fine, but the applications are the critical component. Because that will dictate whether we get a loan or not, basically. So we really need the applications, and correct me if I'm wrong, but I think a lot of the applications right now are people that are going in right now.
Yeah,
Whereas those people that are 2, 3, 4, 5 years away. We have no shovel in the ground, so they're kind of just holding
they're
off.
waiting and then.
Yeah, and I've had that, me, my church people, well, yeah, I'm planning on doing that. I'm not ready for it yet, so. I don't wanna put my application in. But I think we do need to do a better job of. The $1,000 is in trust. And you can pull that $1,000 out anytime that you want, if your situation changes. In order to get those applications to a higher amount, so. By the way, we have a meeting tomorrow night with our group to discuss that, so.
Changing our marketing a bit and kind of even refocusing that to not the 75 plus, but to the 65 plus, right? Cause
Yeah.
there's no reason why someone 65 plus couldn't have an application in there and maybe, you never know when you're gonna be ready, for sure. So life can change in a heartbeat, so maybe tomorrow, yeah, that's what I need to be, so, I mean, there's no. If you can afford the $1,000, there's no other real. There's no real commitment, you can say when your time comes up, nope, still not ready, then that's fine. But at least it shows that there's that commitment that we have to move forward.
Any other questions? Okay, I get a motion to accept your presentation, so I get a mover and a seconder. Councilor Landry, Councilor Taylor,
That the delegation by Galen Johnson and Scott Demontney from Valley Life Housing Group concerning the active living project be received.
all those in favor? Opposed, carried. Again, thank you very much. We'll have a discussion and get back to you at some point in time, and good luck. I'm saying that, I am. You're welcome to stay for the rest of the council meeting if you so wish.
Thank you.
Tonight.
Yeah, yes.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. It's got to see you.
Thank you.
Right, we'll move on to correspondence, which is the RCMP stats. A sponsor letter. What's the big idea in the Manitoba Ag Hall of Fame induction ceremony? Can I get a mover and a seconder? Councilor Landry, Councilor Marks,
That the following correspondence be received. Our CMP stats, West Manunic Choir Tour Sponsorship Request. What's the Big Idea 10th Anniversary Celebration Dinner, Manitoba Agriculture Hall of Fame Induction Ceremony.
discussion.
I'd just like to mention that the Westman Youth Choir is not on the agenda. Further down, like the drama club is, so if you'd like me to add something, let me know, and I will drop something before we get down there.
What would you do?
Well, it's up to council.
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah.
Is that the group that asked for a grant of the hall or no? In the past, wasn't there a singing or there was something? But they have camp for like 4 days or 5 days in the summer, it's not the same,
That's a dance
That's a
camp.
dance.
that's a dance camp. Oh,
Dance, yeah.
okay. All right.
We, yeah,
Something, but-
fire, they did have
They have,
one at the hall at the Great or the United Church. They performed there.
Oh,
That was a few years ago, because we took on a bill. Cause they built the kids out when they were in the area.
oh.
I'm not sure if we have any kids from the Minnedosa area. Okay, so we have a minute. So I would like to have a motion on the floor then.
okay, I will drop something when you guys do business.
Is there any other question? Okay, all those in favor for that correspondence resolution? Opposed? Carried. We're on to no new old business, but we're on to new business, town fleet garbage trucker. Can I get a mover and a seconder, please? Councilor Taylor, Councilor Landry.
Whereas the town has contracted out solid waste collection and disposal services with a start date of July 1st, 2025, and whereas the contract was for a 5-year term, and whereas the town's fleet included a garbage truck, which is no longer in service, therefore be it resolved that the town-owned garbage truck that is no longer in service be sold under sealed bid with a set reserve bid minimum. And further be it resolved, should the minimum bid not be reached, that administration shall place the asset in an online auction service.
Discussion. Councilor Marks.
Is the reserve bid amount public information?
Yes,
That's,
I just didn't add one in because I didn't know what council
okay.
to reserve bid it at. Yes.
Any other discussion? All right then, all those in favor? Opposed? Carried.
So in my report, I do show a sealed bid opportunity of $50,000. Councilors are okay with that. Minimum reserve bid.
Do we have a thought as to what the value of the property is?
That is Brian's recommendation. 50,000.
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect.
I am no garbage truck connoisseur, I will defer to Brian.
That was, yeah, his recommendations.
Then we'll move on to the 10.2. Drama Club request. Can I get a mover and seconder, please? Councilor Landry, or Councilor Marks, sorry, Councilor Taylor.
Whereas the Minnedosa Drama Club had appeared before council requesting a discounted rate for the show in November at the Minnedosa Community Conference Center. And whereas the club is seeking a long-term discounted agreement for use of the MCCC going forward. Therefore, be it resolved that the town and the drama club enter into a long-term rental agreement for use of the MCCC as follows. 50% off regular rental for all days required. Drama club would be responsible for setup and takedown of all chairs and tables required. Drama club purchases all required insurance for the use of the MCCC.
Discussion. Councilor.
Is there any need for adding a cleaning component to this? The room shall be clean, or is that something that we do?
I do feel that the drama club would clean it. I did have a conversation with Mr. Mully before the presentation and he went over what they would take care of. We would still go in after.
Yeah.
Like with the floor, Zamboni, call it, and make sure everything's cleaned up.
I had that conversation with him also when met with him and said that, you know, if you would do that component, that saves us money on staffing coming in and being there every night and cleaning and.
Yeah.
They do the Ukrainian hall anyways, so they have no problem with that. And I did make sure that includes the foyer. And the hall also. It's like sort of the whole building, it's yours for those 4 days. You look after it, but there would be a component at the end of the time to go in and make sure everything is proper. Councilor Taylor.
I just have a question, Grant, there was, you brought up the thermostat. Like, usually a thermostat is, I've dealt with thermostat before, so I mean, I'm trying to figure out, is it the thermostat or the wire going? There's something.
It can be cold.
Yes,
On the
it can be very
right side of that
cold, very-
stage.
It's been like that ever, like, I mean, that's not just now, but I mean, I just, for life of me, I could not figure out, can't figure out why that wouldn't have been looked at a long time ago.
Well, we have been in there, it's been quite cold. And I think their concern was that that's fine, because it's under lock and key.
Mhm.
But as long as they have access to somebody to come in and make an adjustment. And I said, yeah, that's part of what that's not a problem.
So it's not part of the thermostat, it's part that's
Access to it.
somebody turning it down and then not going in, turn it up when it gets. So good, well, I mean, that seemed awful strange to me, but the drama club's a very important thing to the town of Minnedosa, and I think as they just said, it extends a lot further than just the rental of the hall, and too, it's also the fact that the money that is spent in the town is so relevant to our community. So that's the only thing I want to say. I do believe that we should be giving this. Yeah, pretty good.
Can we offer them a contract, or are we basically in a situation where we have to, basically, this is the rental rate and we subsidize it?
I can enter into like the lease, long-term lease agreement type of document, just a one pager.
We kind of do that with minor hockey.
Yes.
Version saying they're leasing an hourly rate when we negotiate that, and sometimes it's year by year right now, but. I just think it would save them time, saves administration time if it doesn't have to be forever, it can be 3 years. Well, something just that did come back and revisit it at some point in time. The drama club, I agree with Councilor Taylor, it is an element of our community that needs some support.
I've no issue with this.
And I just don't think, for them to come back every year and if if it wants to be part of grants organization, then we'll just set that in as grants organization for the next 3 years as a commitment. And I don't have a problem going about that way either.
I didn't think of it, we have to actually do a contract, but actually have it fund through grants,
Yes.
that works.
I think that would be the best way, personally myself, I'd
And
rather.
then how do we deal with it this year?
My first thing is, we're not losing money on this.
No,
We're still gonna get $1,600. We don't have that much in expenses. If everything goes, and I do trust them. The Granite Club is not going to leave it
No.
in disarray. So we're still making money, and to be honest with you, if we don't put something on. And take this $1,600, it'll probably remain vacant,
it'll be empty, like.
so. I
It's
think
a win-win for us.
I agree, I think it is a win-win, so that's my comments. Any other discussion? Okay, so, sorry,
Okay, just, so the question we're gonna follow up is that, are we gonna grant the grant process, are we gonna, is Daniel gonna make a contract for it?
I'm gonna make a contract.
That's what I'd like to say, like a 5 year, would they be happy with 5, or you said 3?
that's a good discussion,
I mean,
I'm
that was my only question.
okay with
A
3
5
and revisit it after 3, because their situation may change and our situation may change, but I'm not
But
sure. why.
long-term planning.
They give them 3,
Long-term planning would be something that, if you give them 5 years, it would be,
well, that's true, because.
Yeah.
They do have to book
yeah.
a
and
long
like-
time ahead of time to get
Yeah, to get the people
To
that
the
want
play.
you to come,
and
yeah,
the place,
So-
rights to the play.
yeah, and if you know what's going on.
So for the amount of money that this is, can the administration not make the decision to do 3, 5, 10, 15?
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
I don't have a problem. with it.
Absolutely.
They're
Would
ready to
rather
take it.
bring
You
it
mean
back to
talking-
council?
You mean
Yeah.
talking to them and asking them, would they like it 3 or 5? Yeah, for
Yes,
sure.
what
Yeah,
works between us and
absolutely.
the town.
100% for
Is
sure.
everybody okay with that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we'll call for the vote. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried.
Refresh your screen, the other one will come up later. In the agenda.
We are now on to item 10.3, cottage area occupancy permit extension request. Can I get a mover and a seconder, please? Counselor Taylor. Counselor Marks.
Whereas the cottage lease agreement required the lessee to complete construction of a new cottage on the site within a period of 24 months from the execution of the lease. And whereas the completed construction dates for 23 Coronation Lane was July 31st, 2025. And whereas council had passed resolution number 2025-154, providing an extension to September 30th, 2025. And whereas the lessee provided information that the build would not be completed due to circumstances beyond their control. Therefore, be it resolved that the extension request to December 31st, 2025 be approved.
Discussion. Counselor Marks.
Have there been any penalties or additional fees for this extension that they got and then also for the future one? If you get it,
No,
should there be?
it's up to council to decide.
Yeah,
Counselor Taylor.
Just, is there, has, in his letters, information that's been a reply, has he said why this is not? Why he wants this extension? Like, I mean, this is something that was straightforward. It's
There-
something that he knew.
Their original ask, I think, was an aggressive timeline on their part, and they are hung up by hydro.
Okay,
So they're waiting
So-
for hydro first to then be able to bring in other trades to complete the build.
so are they looking at a bigger service, what do they?
I think they completely gutted everything and upgraded everything in that cabin,
Yeah,
so they need
yeah.
new hydro run to it.
Counselor Marks. Or Counselor Landry.
You'll get it eventually.
No, I won't.
I doubt it.
Give it the benefit of the doubt. Just looking at administration's report, it says to be completed, septic tank installation, crawl space completed, drywall, mud, paint, kitchen, floors, trim and doors. That sounds to me like it's not even close to being substantially complete. We already gave them one extension. I have a bit of an issue giving them a second one on this, without a better.
But what if we do, like,
Yeah.
what if he just walks away, what if he doesn't, like, I mean, what benefit is it that we don't give him the extension? I'm lost why he doesn't wanna do this, like, I mean, hydro, like, sure, it's a busy.
There are
place.
Yeah, the generator.
But I know,
That's where I have a problem.
This is,
If I remember correctly, is this the cottage that the stop work order was put on because of a permit issue and then the contractors left? And then they had to get other contractors, is this a different situation?
This is a different situation. She came in for a variation
Yes.
on that
Yeah.
one. So this is a different one. This resolution was with another cottage area. And council questioned at that point if they were going to be able to make this deadline, because that was an initial concern. But that's all they asked for, so that's all council did.
the first one was June and then extended to September, but was that right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we extended a different cottage to December.
But on one extension.
Yeah,
Correct.
I think there should be an administration fee and definitely any give the extension.
Any other comments?
Has it been a lot of extra work for you, is this,
To grant extensions? No.
so it's not,
We're here discussing it.
yeah,
Yeah,
It's Adam's time, Stacy's
Yeah.
time,
yeah.
yeah,
but
No,
it's not.
I don't think it's, yeah.
Counselor Lane?
I would be somewhat reluctant to grant an extension, but with an administration fee.
Like, does he, like, what, he wants, what, December 31st, is this what? So, like, what about June 30th of next year, like, I mean, what? I mean, if we're gonna do that, cause he's gonna apply again, I can almost guarantee that, like, give him a bit of extra time to do this and let's. You know, would he be happy with that? I mean, if it's taking this long, what's a little bit more time?
So we have two recommendations. One is that we apply administrative fee
Yeah,
and offer them an extension till further into 2026. Or stick to the.
yeah, but I mean, you know, it's gonna come again.
Well, I think he's asking for the 31st, give him the 31st. And basically, if he knows that he's paying the fee this time, he realizes he'll be paying again, if he's gonna ask again.
So how do we determine what that fee is? Can we not anywhere in the?
No, it's not in the bylaw, it's not in the lease fee,
Right.
or the lease, sorry, contract.
Would he have to apply for another permit, like
He has open permits.
open permit? So I mean, he wouldn't have, they won't have to go, he won't have to pay any more to the planning district.
My,
I don't know the stat, like, from what I understand, the permits are open, but what their.
Yeah.
Deadlines are, I don't know that.
Yeah, cause that's kind of strange, because he'd have to ask extensions for them too, so it's not just us.
Are we talking, so somebody wanna make a recommendation of what kind of
$500.
anybody else have any comments?
I was thinking half of that, actually.
I just threw a number up.
I think 500 is a little high.
Yeah, I'm in agreement there.
What do we charge for a cat or a dog? Real, relatively speaking, maybe it's not that much.
The cat's $15.
No, I mean, if the town catches it and holds it. Is it? Well, there we go. Yeah, so I mean, it's not.
I think I
The
could,
first time,
I would be okay with the 250, kind of gets home to get this done.
I think 250 is reasonable.
I don't, obviously it doesn't seem to matter to him, it's like you give him
Well,
five.
there is an administrative fee, we're.
Yep,
it's the second
absolutely.
time we've dealt with
Yeah,
that council, and
Yeah,
I'm sure that they have dealt with it.
That wasn't my question, my question was, But I mean, I definitely think there's, should be an administration, fee, definitely.
Is everyone comfortable with the $250 administrative fee?
Yes.
Can we make that, add that to or amend the motion, and as the mover and the second are okay with that being amended? Okay. Need to read the motion again?
Adding that amount to our fee schedule.
Are we?
It's ready.
Let me to read it again.
Sure, go ahead.
Whereas the cottage lease agreement required the lessee to complete construction of a new cottage on the site within a 24-hour. Within a 24-hour period. A period of 24 months from the execution of the lease, the word months is missing from that sentence. And whereas the completed construction dates for 23 Carnation was July 31st, 2025. And whereas council had passed resolution 2025-154, providing an extension to September 30th, 2025. And whereas the lessee provided information that the build would not be completed due to circumstances beyond their control. Therefore be it resolved that the extension request to December 31st, 2025 be approved. And further be it resolved that a $250 administration fee be added to their account.
Any further discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. We'll move on to 10.4 Minnedosa Regional Event Center. Concrete slab or shed. Can I get a move in a seconder, please? Counselor Ryan and Counselor Marks.
Whereas the town had a concrete pad construction for a shed at the Minnedosa Regional Event Center grounds for youth sports clubs and the town to utilize. Therefore be it resolved that the cost of same $30,175 be withdrawn from our grilling trust.
Discussion? Counselor Landry.
How much was in the grilling trust?
180,000.
Counselor Marks.
What portion of this is expected, of the shed is anticipated to be used by the town versus sports grounds?
The town would be using 1/3. Shed. The rest would be
So the majority will actually be towards
for you.
what
sports.
the trust is actually doing, and report.
Yes.
Yeah.
Youth sports clubs.
Any other questions?
Well, it'd be nice to see something there, for the weeds. Just kidding.
Okay, all those in favor? Opposed? Carried.
Would that be, started this fall, you know, or?
The concrete pad is
Is there,
there. Yeah, 26 budget discussion, we'll be talking about the build on top of those. That'll be on top of that cost.
Oh, it's will be next year.
Okay, we'll move on to 10.5, the flood mitigation project. Okay, that's just a slab. Can I get a mover and a seconder, please? Counselor Landry, Counselor Taylor.
Whereas council had previously directed administration to investigate flood mitigation in or near Tanner's Crossing Park. And whereas administration had contacted Dillon Consulting seeking a proposal for same. And whereas Dillon Consulting had provided a proposal as attached outlining the flood protection dike segment. Therefore be it resolved that the proposal from Dillon Consulting be approved as presented.
Discussion. Counselor Landry.
So I'm just having a bit of a hard time understanding here. So I know we put $200,000 towards flood mitigation in 2025 budget.
Mhm.
And administration's report recommends that 100,000 be transferred to the EMO reserve for the project in 2026. And proceed with Dillon Consulting's proposal. So is this for the Dillon Consulting proposal is for the work that's being done in 2025's budget?
It will not be ready till 2026.
Okay.
So my recommendation is to put the mill rated $100,000 into the EMO reserve, because that was allocated for the flood mitigation. The other $100,000 was to come from the gas tax reserve, so that'll stay there.
So we're just deferring till 2026 to get it done in 2026.
Yes, if you approve their proposal.
And their proposal didn't really have any hard costs, it was just a. What they wanna do, correct?
Correct. There is a cost in there for,
27, okay?
yes,
To do the engineering.
That's the consulting fee.
yes.
Counselor Taylor.
Is this something that should be discussed in front of all council
Probably.
and the mayor? Is this? Is this something that has to be done today? Can we table this and have everybody here to discuss this? I don't, it's just a question.
Yeah, it's a good question. Anybody else? I think we should table it till there's more counselors at the ground table.
This is essentially a dike that would run from where to where.
There's two options. The one option they're not bond with because we have to get the railway involved. So this one is closer to the condos. This was discussed a couple of council meetings ago. Councilor Delsa brought it up.
Yes,
Yes,
so I do think it would be better to have my personal. I do think there's other places like we could be taking up more so than that area. That's down around the trailer park where we were throwing sandbags and the other area down by that housing. So, I mean, that's my own personal feelings, I just.
like, I'd just like to say I really need council to make up their mind
Yes.
on where they want to do the flood mitigation, because I can't keep going back to the
I know.
consultants and changing the course of what we're doing. This is a regular meeting of council. The council dates are set a year in advance. Council knows there's a meeting tonight. If all of council is not here to make the decision, then like, we're never gonna go forward if I keep having to go back or we keep stalling decisions. So that's my recommendation out loud.
Have we paid 27K yet or no? This is just,
No,
no, so this is just a proposal for,
so we can get something started.
so I say okay with 27K.
Okay, any further questions or discussion? All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. We're going on to 10.6. Manitoba Road Grant, 2025. Can I get a mover and a seconder? Madam Landry, Counselor Taylor.
Whereas the provincial governments had announced the new Manitoba Growth, Renewal and Opportunities for Municipalities, Manitoba Grow Grant, with a submission deadline of October 6, 2025. Therefore, be it resolved that council supports and approve a grant application submission to Manitoba Grow for the purchase of the new regulated fire truck for the Minnedosa Fire Department.
Discussion.
Yes.
Okay, all those in favor? Oh. Carried.
I want to forward you a New York Times article. Apparently, majority of fire truck construction within the United States is now. Hedge fund companies have made it so that there are now basically 3 manufacturers that build 80% of trucks in the States. And right now they are looking at 4 and 5 year delays in getting any orders of fire trucks. And the prices have gone up through the roof.
Okay, we're gonna move on to 10.7. Westman Esquire, can I get a mover and a seconder, please? Counselor Taylor, you get a seconder, please? Counselor Martin? Discussion?
I'm very agree. Whereas the Westman Youth Choir has submitted a request for sponsorship, therefore be it resolved that the town provide blank to sponsor the Westman Youth Choir.
They had minimum was 249 on there.
Counselor Lang.
Just to confirm, we have no money in grants to organizations.
Any further discussion? So amount is 249, is that what they would?
Or I'll just take out the dollar sign and then if it's, well, yes, we need to put a dollar amount. 249.
Sure.
Okay.
Any further discussion? So, just for clarification, we have no further funds in there, correct? Is that we're over budget you indicated?
Not by much, but that's, yeah.
Okay, any other discussion? All those in favor?
Of the,
Yeah, 200, yeah. Opposed? Defeated. We're on to 11.1. Financial statements. Can I get a move in a second, please? Councilor Landry, Councilor Marks.
Be it resolved that the June, July, and August 2025 financial statements for the town of Minnedosa be approved as presented.
Discussion.
I'll say that the general governance basically reviewed all 3 months of these statements, and we asked significant questions, and we have no issues.
Thank you. Okay, all those in favor? Opposed? Carried. We'll move on to 11.2.1. Can I get a mover and a seconder, please? Councilor Landry, Councilor Marks.
Be it resolved that the general accounts for the months of June, July, and August 2025 be approved as presented.
Discussion.
Same comment.
Okay. All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. 11.2.2 utility operating. Can we get a mover and a seconder, please? Councilor Taylor. Councilor Marks.
Be it resolved that the utility accounts for the months of June, July, and August 2025 be approved as presented.
Discussion.
Here's a charm.
All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. And we're on to reports. We will start off with Councilor Landry report.
As presented.
Anybody have any questions? Okay. I will move, I guess I'll go on mine, that's next in line. Are there any questions as presented? Everybody got the video that floated regarding the.
I didn't get a chance to see it.
Okay, good. I think there is gonna be a somebody from the board and a couple of the employees are gonna go look at one north of Saskatoon that's in operation, has been there for a while, just to see how it is going and whether it is good as people say it is. So, but it isn't a significant purchase, it's almost almost $1 million.
Okay, yeah, it's like 100, really?
They're looking at a 1-year lease, just to try it out to make sure it works. That may cost more in the long run, but you're not spending $1 million on something that doesn't work. So that's kind of where it's at.
So this is an evergreen debate?
That's correct, yeah.
just one question, like, what did they say the figure, say this will be
It should reduce
7 years?
yeah, 65% reduction.
So it would almost be 10 years, 10, 11 years.
Yeah. And they can put pretty much anything through it.
Like the hog here, the one, the major.
Yeah, it'll take anything. They've been. A lot of mattresses will go through it, the wood pile go through it.
Really? Mattresses?
Yeah, brings them out in just in shreds. The issue with the mattresses, they gotta do it in a low wind day. Cause the material might blow away. But and it has a bypass, so if there's a large chunk of metal. Such as a motor. Head.
Yeah.
Lawnmower would probably chew it up, but something significant is that, so it has a bypass where it kicks it out the side. So, yeah, we'll see where that ends up going, which would also require a packer too. we've had a meeting with the Rolling School in Canada about the daycare. We have some more meeting, another meeting coming up, with regards to that, and, we're hoping to get at the top end of the ones that get done first. So there was 29 that were slated. And so we're hoping to get one or two to be done. Money is there somewhere.
Well, the money has been committed, the federal commitments only last for so long. And did the province actually get a contractor
Or supposedly they
for
are,
the RFP?
they haven't heard anything yet.
I did respond to an email that the mayor did receive from the province with regards to the daycare application. And this individual will have somebody from the capital team following up with me and all relevant stakeholders regarding this case. So that was today, so hope to hear from them in the next few days.
So, Roller School is in contact with them and working with us also, so. As much as we possibly can. We met with the Manitoba Justice Director of Contracting and Policing. He was interesting and just asking for advice and any changes, and it was brought up about the RMs not having to put in their fair share. And they don't have to pay for policing, and around surrounding us is a number of RMs. They are coming up with a model. They address those issues.
You're very, very good.
So. Don't they actually call it a policing grant now?
Yeah.
From the province?
Yes.
And the RMs don't get that?
No.
And what is that amount to significant, is it not? It's in the range of 300?
Hundreds of thousands.
Okay. Okay.
We also had a Lake Action Committee meeting, which we just focused on three things, it was the beet harvester. And the beet harvester this year it was on the water 49 days. Put on 126 hours. And removed 149 loads, which is equivalent of 1,073 cubic yards, which is significantly more than the first year, which was 2021. They removed 130 yards.
Well, it's double the record harvest used last year.
Yeah,
So.
we are going to be looking at talked about aeration and also with the silt removal ongoing. I guess that's it, unless anybody has any questions. Councilor Dosett's report is online. If anybody would like to read that, you can contact him about questions. Councilor Marks' report.
As presented, same with Rock and account, but it sort of does speak to wages. Beth?
Yes,
Yes.
you are correct.
Any questions? Okay, Councilor Terry, okay. Right, we'll move on to notice of motion. Anything here for second or any?
It's just a notice of motion.
Okay.
It'll come to the next meeting,
Do I need to explain why?
if you would like to. You have not seen anything.
The reason I put this forward is from some ongoing discussions with other municipalities and as part of it, and also discussions with Danielle. With the videoing of council meetings, has some potential for some chilling effects. And the risk of misuse, misinterpretation of statements, the creation of detailed records. Misalignment, especially with, the way that social media can be misused. Misinterpretation, increased staff time. We've never looked at that, posting, the editing. How long do we store the video for? Difficulty in finding the information, what it's for. The video editing of content and a resolution to target counselors and or sending out to the media to support an argument. This has happened in the past. It also may set up the community and or individuals with legal liability issues. There has other municipalities that have moved away from video conferencing because of repercussions and the way that things have been manipulated. I also believe that our meetings are transparent and fair. We do everything by resolution. So the discussions if taken out of context can have a negative impact, not just on counselors, but also on staff. So that's the reason I put it forward.
I'm going to say that that resolution was approved unanimously. Since 1977, the House of Commons has been televising their meeting with I saw the 200-year mark, like the 77 was probably on or around birthdays. It's literally been a TV channel since '92, which would be CPAC. I think pulling it back is a step backwards.
There it comes.
I agree with what Councillor Mark said.
That's fine. All right. We'll move on to, we're moving in camera. Great, okay. So can I get a mover and a seconder? Landry, Councillor Taylor.
Be it resolved that this regular meeting now adjourns to an in-camera meeting to discuss matters in the preliminary stages as per subsection 152(3)(b)(3) of the Municipal Act, and all matters discussed in camera are confidential until discussed in an open meeting as per section 83(1)(d) of the Municipal Act. Time 6:42.
All those in favor? Opposed? Carried. Okay.
Red lights on.
All right, we're into other 16.1. Age-friendly Minnedosa Committee. There's an action plan that was attached.
Did they wish to become council?
So what are we, what's our discussion, or are we approving this, or just for informational?
This is for information because this is from your age-friendly committee.
We have 2 counselors on that.
Yes.
Yeah.
I have
You
never
and
attended.
I'm gonna have to miss the last meeting because it's not big, so.
Has Tom attended?
Yeah, he's been there.
Oh, okay.
He wasn't there for this action plan though.
No,
Oh,
I wasn't there either for that one. I was.
oh, well, that seems appropriate.
Yeah.
Now, this action plan is really a council action plan, is that correct? Or is this a committee?
Correct.
Okay,
Council has to approve the age-friendly action plan from the committee.
Oh, that's what the purpose of this.
This is for information right now. There is
Oh.
no resolution, I believe.
Okay.
It's just your information so you can look at their action plan.
Do we have a document as to the direction of the age-friendly committee as it comes from the province?
From Age Friendly Manitoba, yes.
Yeah, okay.
Have we received any funding from them? Was it $2,000?
We received the $1,000 startup last year, yes.
In the last year or this year, there was $2,000.
No, we received 1,000 last year. We haven't received any additional funds this year.
Okay,
Nothing yet.
So should we, is there another meeting coming up with age friendly?
yeah.
Board? So,
It's in October, I think 15th or something, I just, yeah.
That was from the,
Just-
It's in the middle of the day.
I think 1 to 3.
Yeah.
In the middle of the day. Yeah.
and being that we did not have representation in the last meeting, would have.
What is the
should we-
15th?
15th, yes.
Hopefully that we will have representation at the next meeting that can use that, we go over this and
Yeah.
come up with any questions or
Yeah.
recommendations for change, concerns, etc. Because there is a lot of,
Recommendation.
there is a lot of
Yeah.
recommendations.
Yeah.
With very ambitious timelines.
Mhm.
Yes. That is correct. And who is responsible for doing this?
Well, apparently I'm a member of said committee, but I've never attended it. It's not within my schedule to get there.
Well, that was.
That's
what
why
they-
Tom is the alternate.
Yeah. Like, a lot of the business owners are, to do things, to pay for certain things. That's inside their building or coming into the building for sidewalks and stuff like that.
Well, I'm just looking at item number 2, explore viable transportation models.
Yeah,
And that's timeline is fall 2025. But there's no who.
well,
Who's going to do, is that one member of the committee, or is it the whole committee itself, or is that? Like, if we pass this, then we have to assign somebody, so
What's the Transportation Options Network?
I do have a document that tells you who's doing what. But I did not post that to here.
now some of this is already started, some parts of it, but. That a lot of
It
that's
is.
been taken on by other committees. Like the development and also welcome kit and event calendar. Well, CDC and Danielle have been working on that through Sabina. Because of the health recruitment and so we have that. We haven't seen that yet. And it's ongoing. So I guess that would be one of some of the questions that
yes,
I'd have to get clarification into, and
Is the CDC working in conjunction with this committee?
I believe Sabina. Is it, yes,
yes,
the
there
meetings. Is there anything else that you would like to bring up with that, or? Okay. I guess then we will wait for after the next meeting and. Cause it is a long list,
Yeah, it's a major one.
yeah. Okay. Is there anything else under other? Then we'll move on to item 17. Adjournment, gonna get a mover and a seconder, please. Counselor Landry, Counselor Taylor,
Be it resolved that the meeting be adjourned at 7:13 PM and to meet again on October 14th, 2025.
all those in favor? Opposed? Carried. The